Good evening, Kerbal lovers. It's stream time. It's Monday. It's Kerbal time. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, it's me. Hi, everyone. Look at this. I got the camera. I always have the camera. I don't know the point I'm trying to make here. Let me make sure everything is set up here. So tonight we're going to do a little bit of work around Jewel, but we're going to start with a warm-up rescue mission to Mun and to Minmus, because I took those missions and never got around to finishing them. So we're gonna finish those tonight. And I have lots of stuff to talk about. It was a great weekend. A lot of content to discuss. A lot of fun times. We had a new movie this weekend. I played a new game this weekend. It was great. I streamed briefly on Saturday morning. That was like 40 minutes of streaming. So if you missed that, don't feel like you missed out on anything important. All right, so the game is loading. Let's make sure it is being captured correctly. You know, all that stuff. Hi, Emmykins. Welcome to the Monday night stream. And come on, Kerbals. Loading. Oh, I should get the chat open up here. I screwed that up. Oh, hang on, what is it? Yeah, we'll figure that out in a second. All right, so let's switch to the game. Here's the game. Oh, I guess I should put the webcam on too. I turned it off for the Saturday stream, but it's back now. On to the stream we go. There we go. All right, put on the chat so I can see what you guys are telling me. If you were telling me anything. All right, we're good to go. So let's see. We have science data from space around Tylo, science data from surface of Tylo. All this stuff is kind of out of reach for the moment. So let's see what we got. Science data from space around Gilly, plant flag on Ike, rescue Danzon. So we're going to do rescue Danzon and we're going to do rescue Magtop. So let's get on that right now. We're just going to jump right into it. In fact, we might be able to do this in one quick mission if we're smart. So we're not going to be able to do it in one quick mission. And also, something I should look at in a second here. Rescue. Where is it? No, that's not it. What the heck? What have we been using to do rescue missions? Oh, we've been using the crew transfer shuttle. That's right. We use the M variant, which is designed to go to the Mun and to Minmus. So let's do that. And what else do we got? Electric charge generated but not used. Electric charge generated but source lacking. Cannot transmit science. None of that matters. Load up a pilot if we have any. We do. We have Valbury. He's actually a very good pilot. And hopefully we'll pick some up while we're out. So I think we'll go to the Mun first, and then once we get back, we can go to Minmus. And then we can focus on knocking out a couple of other missions, as well as planning our next trip to Jewel, because we're going to need to send a resupply mission and a replacement scan sat. So you'll recall we had some issues with the alerts that overshot one of our maneuvers. All right, let's make sure everything looks good here. Looks good to me. Valkyrie is ready, and we're off. So we need to send out a big tank of fuel for our mining ship. I knew that mining ship was going to be trouble too. And then we'll send out the ScanSat, and then we can start mining on Vol, and that'll let us be a little more self-sufficient out there. Let's see, it is year 13, day 263. Oh shoot, we might still be in a position to launch that, because I have a transfer window of year 13, day 245. We're only 20 days, not even 20 days past that. So I will actually, I'll put that together once we're on our way to the Mun. We'll take a little bit of time for that. Right, so discussion topics. Oh yes, cats. My cat, whose name is Cat, seems to be having some issues this evening, as he often does. He demands attention very loudly. Anyone who has a cat, I'm sure, can relate. I don't know if dogs do that. I suppose some dogs do. They kind of whine if you're not paying attention to them. Anyway, so yeah, we'll give people some time to filter in here. I don't want to blow my load this early with conversation, because otherwise I'll run out of stuff to talk about, and then we'll have to sit in silence for 2.5 hours. So you can just tell me. Oh, he was bringing Mr. Pillow downstairs. Oh, okay. Yeah, he likes to announce when he's doing that, so everybody notices that he's there and they don't step on him. Very important that he does that, at least in his mind. All right, so we're actually gonna slow down a bit here. Do a nice slow burn. We still have quite a bit of Delta V in this tank. I probably could have taken this a little smoother. It's not a huge deal. This thing is designed to have an excess amount of Delta V for any tricky rescues we might have to deal with. All right. So if I guess we can start with chat. Chat, if you guys had a fun weekend. If anybody did anything fun, like going to a theme park or a concert or watching a movie in the theater. I guess if you just watched a movie at home, it's not very exciting. Going to the theater, that's like an event. You get popcorn, you get a big kielbasa, you take it in there, chomping down while the movie's going. Yell at some guy who's texting on his phone. It's a fun time. If you have a fancy theater that you go to and it's got the reclining seats, you could take a nap during the more boring parts of the movie. That sounds like a blast to me. Emmykin says, my weekend was okay. Well, okay then. Microphone's a little low here. Let me adjust myself. Emmykins makes her own popcorn for her home movies. And as good as that popcorn is, it's still not quite the same. Probably better, honestly. But movie theater has what the French would call, I don't know what, that makes it somehow better. I don't really know. All right, let's burn. Burn. Now I've gone and overshot my maneuver by talking about popcorn, of course. So yes, if you did something fun, type it out in the chat. Show off how cool you are. If you don't type anything, I'm gonna assume you're lame. That's okay though. You're in good company. I played a new game this weekend. It was recommended to me by chat. I did not stream it because I don't think it's the type of game that you necessarily want to stream. At least not to... I don't know. It's kind of like Outer Wilds. So I played the Hidden City, which is a puzzle, adventure, RPG type game. It was recommended to me because I like Outer Wilds, and it was somewhat similar, although much shorter than Outer Wilds, unfortunately. I think it's just, it lacks as much stuff as Outer Wilds has in it. And there's a lot of dialogue as well that's important to the game. And from my kind of osmosis understanding of it, it is based on a Skyrim mod that was then kind of taken and converted into a standalone game on its own. And interestingly enough, I ran into a bit of a glitch or a bug on my first time through that luckily I was able to work around, but I was thinking to myself, wow, this really is just like Skyrim. All right, now we go to the Mun. Looks like we can leave immediately. Let's go. So yeah, that was fun. It was a good time. We can talk about it a little more later if there's interest in that. If you've played it, you know, very, very spoiler heavy discussion. Obviously, it's one of those kind of games. I really enjoyed the canon ending. That is right up my alley for things that I like to see in a role-playing game. And in fact, I kind of have my D&D setting set up in a similar way. So those of you who've played, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so we may be a little off here on getting to the Mun, but like I said, plenty of extra Delta V. It's not a huge deal. We'll just adjust as needed. And we should be seeing something here. There we go. So yeah, there we go. So bring that in nice and tight. So Magtop is at a altitude of very low. And we'll need to adjust our inclination a bit as well. Oh, but on fine controls there, holy cow. We'll get down to about 12,000. All right, perfect. All right, we're gonna practice using the stock alarms here, since I had so many issues with them on Friday. Oh, I stayed up too late on Friday. Oh man, that was a interesting way to spend the evening. No, 10 seconds. Okay. So let's make sure. So 1 day, 1 hour, 41 minutes. 1 day, 1 hour, 41 minutes. All right, perfect. So now that Valkyrie is on her way, we're going to send up the jewel resupply mission. And that's actually going to take a bit of time. So the real portion of the stream is now starting. Feel free to... I don't know. I'll start talking about stuff in a moment. So let me lay out the weekend for you. I played some X-Pirates. I've talked about that on the stream before. That is a XCOM mod for Open XCOM, which is a open source remake patch kind of situation for the classic XCOM UFO Defense from 1993. And that was a blast. I mean, I'll sell that mod all day. It's great. And then of course I played the Hidden City, which was a blast, although a little short. I was a bit spoiled going in. I kind of knew the conceit, but I did have a good time with it regardless, even knowing what was going to happen. All right, so we're gonna send up a big old tank of fuel. I'm thinking massive. Just outrageously large. What is the biggest tank we can send that is feasible? One of these? Okay, well, I may have misspoke. This is maybe a little bit too big. Yeah, let's tone it down a bit, huh? What's the next biggest one I can do? Is it this one? It's not quite as long, though. Like, that seems smaller than an orange tank. Which, if I can bring that up. Oh, nah, I mean, it's the same length, it's just a different width. Yeah, that's probably fine. We can make it orange, even. Alright, so, hey, Tsiolkovsky, I am building I'll actually name this. This is a, interplanetary fuel delivery drone. So we need to send this to Joule, and our transfer window is rapidly closing, so I need to send this as soon as possible. Obviously, time freezes in the VAB, but this is to help us recover from the disastrous mission that we had on Friday, getting our mining vessel stranded, among other things. And this is to help refuel that and keep everything going. So where is the next adapter? That's too small. I mean, I don't need it to be... I need it to be wider, I think. That's the same one that I just used. Maybe we just send a big orange tank. Call it good. Like, I want to send a big tank, but I also need it to fit in a certain form factor. So orange tank it is. Because this one I know at least will do what I need it to do. Put a nice cap on it. And a shielded docking port. Alright, so far so good. I suppose we will also need some kind of control. How about a big ol' drone probe core? I mean, it looks kind of goofy, but whatever. Reroute this. There we go. All right, so Tsiolkovsky, if you have any advice on sort of a decent way to get this thing where I need it to go, feel free to type it out. I know I think you're more of a builder than I am. I typically just build what I think I need and then leave it at that. We're gonna want the most efficient engine. I wish that they put these in order of size. I guess they kind of... No, they don't. Because up here you have the adapters, then you have the RCS, then you have the small one, then you have the medium, but then it goes big, bigger, and then the big one is down here. It's a little obnoxious. All right. We're also going to need RCS on this. So let's put a... Oh my gosh. Engine. We need an engine. I think the Poodle is the most efficient rocket engine that fits in our form factor. Yeah, 0.54 is good. You wouldn't. You've yet to venture to other planets. You've spent hundreds of hours designing things. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're more of a designer. I build things quickly to get a job done. I don't have time. I know Urban likes to spend 4 hours in the VAB just designing these intricate things. I'm like, just put the parts together and send it. I don't have time for that. All right, RCS. Let's look at our center of mass. So looking at this, might be a case where we need... I mean, we don't need a big old RCS thing, but I'm going to put extra fuel tanks just so I have a more effective place to mount it. About that one. That should work. So then kind of looking at the center of mass, we can throw on the big thrusters. Like so. And like so. Do we need to stick some balls down at the bottom? Sounds pretty practical. Yeah. On hard mode, I mean, it would probably honestly be better to actually spend some time designing things, but I like to play the game. So I typically end up just doing whatever. All right, so there's some minor clipping, but that's okay. It's not anything major that would mess with my design sensibilities. The main thing about hard mode is you need to build in a pretty good margin of error, because if you screw something up, you don't get a quick reload or a revert. All right, so this is what we're sending to Joule. So with 6199, that should be more than enough to get us there. I guess we'll need some solar panels as well. So let's find some. What is a good size solar panel? Heck are these things? All right, those are too big. This doesn't need a lot of power to run. Oh, it is gonna need an antenna though, isn't it? Okay. What is our best bet for a relatively small... Okay, this is 5.48 gigameters. This is 100 megameters. Oh, this is 61.2 gigameters. For not too much difference. All right, we'll go with that. Okay, so we'll just... Nope, nope. So we'll just slap that on the side, and that is 0.075, so we're going to need to counterbalance it with something that weighs the same. Yeah, hard mode it really adds a lot of tension, which is what I like in my games. So, like, if I play Minecraft, I play hardcore. If I die, the world gets deleted. And let me tell you, that's a completely different game. So I tend to have many disasters and rescue missions. I don't know that I would say many. We've had one major disaster with Jeb blowing up when an incoming spaceship that was meant to dock collided with the cockpit that he was in. So he died pretty early on. We had some issues around Eve's orbit that resulted in some of my ships ending up in a retrograde orbit. We had to send, I wouldn't call them rescue missions, but resupply missions. And this current one is also a rescue mission due to the Joule issue. And that one was caused because when I put the alarm in to wake up once the mining ship that I had sent to Vol had entered the sphere of influence, I accidentally put in the alarm for when it left Vol's sphere of influence. So it flew right past where I was supposed to do the maneuver at the periapsis and was almost to the edge of the sphere of influence of Vol before I caught it. And hello, King Akira. Oh my goodness. Yeah, a big oof. Let me play it out.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Yeah, I was mad. But I'm hoping that by sending this, I can kind of fix the whole thing and get the mining ship back up and operational. Let's slide this down a bit. Just want to make sure it's at the center of mass. And then on the side, right, we need the power. Let me say that's 0.09. I need something with similar mass on the other side. I guess it's not a huge deal. So 0.09 versus, that's also 0.09. 0.3. I think this is the circular one, right? Not retractable once deployed, not retractable once deployed. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so we'll just throw a solar panel on there. That looks robust enough for me. And, you know, I probably shouldn't do that because I have run into situations in the past where the solar panel ends up not getting the view of the sun. So we'll do that. And then do we need a counterweight? Probably not, right? It's probably fine. All right, so that looks good. And then throw a battery on the side, I guess, just to be safe. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. In the words of the immortal, shoot, who the heck said that? The Mighty Number 9 guy. It's like, yeah, you kickstarted our game and it sucked, but hey, at least you got something. Okay, next up, we need to do the launch stage. So we need to get this into orbit, like, intact. We don't want to be burning anything from that fuel tank. So with that in mind, I'm leaning towards a nice little asparagus stage. I know how much you guys love to eat your asparagus. So let's throw on a mainsail. Thrust weight is 1.48. Let's throw on another big tank and see if that continues. 1.07, so not quite. Well, no, that's probably fine actually. And then we'll throw on one of these. All right, so that puts us below, oh, that puts us at 1 actually. All right. Well, in that case, we'll just use some solid boosters. Why the heck not? Nice. Oh, you know what? I should put these like this. Had too many problems in the past where we did that the other way around. All right, and then solid boosters. What's the most fun one to use? Thoroughbred? Pollux? I should probably read what these do, shouldn't I? All right, this gives us thrust. All right, so this is 1.54. I can live with that. I'll throw some fins on there. Why not? Throw some winglets. I like the winglets. I also like wings. Chicken wings specifically. And winglets makes me think of riblets, which I also enjoy. Too big. Mark 16A. Are these bigger? Okay, see, that one's too big. So is it just this one? It's that one. All right. Fair enough. Clydesdale. You like the Clydesdales, King Akira? Let's take a look. What do those ones do? Oh, these are the big boys. Okay, that might be a little overkill, but why the heck not? This thing's not designed to be subtle. Yikes. It's clipping into the RCS. Is it? Barely? It's probably fine. We'll just say there's some kind of gap there. Call it good. Throw on some nice nose cones. Ooh, black and white. All right, I'm on board with that. All right, now the Delta V. All right, Delta V is much different. Is it really 1.44 after we break that off? That can't be right. We still, okay, we're still at sea level. That's weird. but you know what? I'm not going to question it. Although I am a little concerned because it seems like there's some clipping here. So I think we're going to need the larger attachment things. What are those ones called? The radial decoupler. These ones are always so flimsy though. I never feel like I can trust them. All right, and we'll have to do some strutting just to be safe. And probably put on a Sepratron or two. Okay. There we go. And I said Sepratrons. Let's go ahead and do that. Good old Sepratrons. They're fun and helpful. Like that. All right. Looks good to me. So let's review the staging. The Sepratrons do not fire. This fires first, then the decoupler fires, and then the Sepratrons fire. Nothing concerning about this vessel. Oh, we'll see about that. I'm a little concerned about the top now. Probably want it to be a little more aerodynamic, if we can help it. I think there's a fuel tank that'll work for this. Yeah, that kind of, well, yeah, that works. Oh, that looks good, actually. Surprisingly not bad. All right, we'll work with that. So we launch. No, those, why do these keep getting shuffled around? What the heck? Okay, so the big boosters fire with the mainsail engine. Let me tone this down a bit. 1.29 is good. So they burn, they complete their burn and detach. Eventually we find ourselves en route to orbit and we're good to go. All right, let's launch this thing. You guys ready? Chat, are you ready? No crew. This is a fully automated thing. Let's go. Destination Jewel. Nothing concerning about this vessel. I'm going to trust the game on this one. If it says there's nothing concerning, then I clearly did the right thing. Go, go, go. All right, we're doing it. Uh-oh, we're launching at night. Well, too bad. We're in a bit of a hurry here. All right, we have liftoff. Looks good. Nice and sturdy. No wobbling, which is a problem we've had in the past with some of our larger crafts. But this one doesn't have a lot going on that would cause it to wobble. And also I added the fins, which will hopefully keep us a little bit more steady, even if I'm not using the full array. I think even just 2 will be good enough. Keep us pointed straight. I say that as we're slowly kind of drifting off course here. It's probably fine. Start our gravity turn. We're going, we're going. Dog speed. Ooh, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. So if you guys have been following Urban Ventures exploits, you'll know he's putting together his big jewel mission soon. So make sure if you're in the Discord or if you're in his channel, you're throwing out some ideas. And I don't know how exactly he set it up with the channel points. Uh-oh. Okay, we're getting a little close here. I should probably be pointed more this way. Wow, the solid rocket boosters really took us all the way, huh? Was not expecting that. Good choice on the Clydesdales. King Acura. Excellent recommendation. I like how they heat up too. Very spacey. Okay. And okay, there they go. Goodbye. Alright, we need some gimbaling here on the mainsail. Beautiful. Watch as they fall back down to Kerbal so majestically. I probably could have used the big reaction wheel module here. That might have been helpful. Anyway, so Urban Venture is putting together some payloads for his Joule mission. So if you want to get in on that and you don't already know about it, I assume everybody here is already familiar with it, but head on over to his Discord and submit some ideas. I wanted to send something with canards personally. I think that'll make him angry, but he'll have no choice but to send it because we paid good channel points for that. But I'm excited to see him doing something outside of the Kerbal system or Kerbal system. Genius, exactly, yeah. Even if canards do not, I guess if he goes to Lathe, canards might help. Flying in the atmosphere and all that. Or if I make him crash the vessel into Joule itself, the canards could help steer it a bit before it explodes. That payload bay looks small. Yeah, well, we'll see what we can send. I know he's just setting up the infrastructure, which probably would have been a smart idea for me to do, but I'm impatient, so I just sent the whole mission all at once. And it would have worked. It was just that one little snag that I ran into that unfortunately kind of ruined the whole experience. But hey, maybe we can fix it tonight. That would be awesome. Also, if somebody can do me a huge favor, if you look at the stream, if you go to Twitch and you're looking at the stream on the list of streams, like the big picture wall, you know, that you choose from, who you're gonna watch. Oh shoot, I'm gonna overshoot my maneuver here. Can you tell me what the title looks like on the big stream wall? Thank you to whoever decides to do that. I know I know you're sacrificing a lot having to navigate away from the stream briefly. All right, so let's get this thing where it needs to go. Shoot. All right, we're gonna have to spend a little bit of delta V out of the top, but that's probably fine. We did bring enough to get us to Joule. Allegedly. Ostensibly. One of those words. So we need about 400 more delta V. Will be at around 5,800. And I think we determined it was maybe 4,000 to get to Joule. You mean, yeah, the capped off text title. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see if it worked, if my plan worked. It might not have, it might have. Either way, it'll be hilarious. All right, we can extend these, I think. Just get everything good to go. All right, and there we go. Aw, man. All right, so for you, it goes to Imp, which I guess is kind of funny. The way I wanted it to set up, it would say Joule after action review and important in-depth anal. But it looks like I ran out of luck with that one. All right, so I have a maneuver here that I can do. Let's set that up. So it is 19,823, negative 338, and we can tweak it from there. That's, nope, that's too much. 1982. There we go, that's better. Set as target. And then tweak it from here. Hey, we might actually get this one. Beautiful. We may have to go a little bit more because I am just slightly past the transfer window. But I don't think that's gonna hurt anybody. Closest approach. Let's keep an eye on this. So 5 million. More, less, more. All right, so we need to do a little more prograde here. Perfect. So let's find Jewel. Focus in. Guessing, yeah, it varies with the browsers. But that's okay. It's, I just wanted to have that as an option. Maybe it'll come up for somebody, maybe it won't. But I can at least imagine that my joke went over well. Okay. So I'm gonna call that good. We'll have to do a mid-course correction. So that's 2,000. And I hope that I brought enough fuel for this, because if we didn't, I'm gonna be very upset. Let's get ready for this maneuver. 5 minutes, it says. 5-minute burn, really? That's seems a little bit ridiculous, but it is a poodle. And they aren't known for their extreme power. Anyway, so this weekend's movie of the week that I watched with my wife yesterday, last night, was Adam Sandler's The Wedding Singer from 1998. Starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, among others. And it was as funny as I remember, which is, you know, mild to moderately funny. So if you have any thoughts or opinions on The Wedding Singer or Adam Sandler in general, now's your chance to get them out and say, haha, Adam Sandler used to be so funny, or I've never thought that Adam Sandler was funny and I hate all of his movies. All right, so 5 minutes, 40 seconds. We're gonna wanna burn at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. You guys ever wish we had base 10 time? How much easier that would be? I blame the Sumerians. It was their idea. Like, well, if we count on our fingers, we can go to 12. So why don't we just do everything in base 12? I don't know, because that's not particularly helpful when you're trying to do stuff and everything is in base 10. Okay, here we go. Burn has begun. So I'm trying to think what other Adam Sandler movies that I've seen that I actually enjoyed. I think most people will at least concede that Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison were pretty okay. Maybe even Big Daddy and Mr. Deeds. And then 8 Crazy Nights isn't for everyone. What else was he in that I would know of? I know there was the recent one, the Hubie Halloween, that I did not see. I haven't seen most of his movies, to be honest. I saw Spanglish, but I don't remember much of it. I saw 50 First Dates. That one was okay. I don't know. It was a little sappy for my taste. Enjoyed. Oh, Anger Management. That's right. Yeah, that one's pretty good. I feel like he can be a good actor when he wants to, but he doesn't usually want to. It's like, I'm just here for the paycheck and a vacation with my friends. That's all that I care about. Which, to be honest, I would go for that too. If that was an option to me, If someone's like, hey, let's let's go to Hawaii and we'll film and make a movie and expense it all to my film company, I'd be like, yeah, sign me up, man. Unfortunately, I do not have that option, so I get to go to work like a normal person. It was hilarious. I don't remember much of it. I saw it a long time ago. Okay, so we'll need to keep an eye. I guess we're not even close to even leaving Kerbin's sphere of influence, so we'll just wait. What else? I mean, he's been in some real bad movies too. Like The Ridiculous Six. Jack and Jill. It's kind of the classic, really bad Adam Sandler movie. I'm blanking on other ones. So I don't really like The Waterboy. I know a lot of people seem to like, oh, Little Nicky. I like Little Nicky, but I saw that when I was maybe 13 or 14 and thought it was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. But, you know, that's kind of your sense of humor when you're that age. It's almost an LOL so random type movie, just with all the stuff that happens. All right, here's hoping. Okay, we shouldn't have any issues with the MUN because we're going this way. I was worried because I saw the intersect there, but it's probably fine. And we're burning, we still got another 3 minutes to go, basically. Let's keep an eye on Jewel now. And we're going to be watching for our intersect point, which will be in 4 years. Hey, that's fun, right? Everybody loves waiting 4 years for a Jewel encounter. I guess it can't hurt. Like, not like we're doing anything else in the meantime. And we were pretty sure that the Jewel Miner was not going to collide with anything. I don't think Lathe has enough sphere of influence to capture it. So we'll just have to hope that's true, otherwise we're going to lose 2 very good Kerbals. But we did like 100 orbits out. And nothing happened, so I'm just going to trust that. Okay. If anything does happen, it doesn't have any fuel, so what happens, happen. Well, we do have some RCS on there. I'm hesitant to use it, though, because we might need to use it for docking. Ah. 4 years, though, really? 4 years and 120 days, I guess, because it's not a perfect transfer window, so it's going to be a little bit sussy. Just have to live with it. All right, almost there. 500 Delta V to go. And so for my next movie pick, which will be 2 weeks from now, I have gone with the classic comedy Heavyweights, starring Ben Stiller, a young Kenan Thompson, and some other people that I don't know. And going to expose my wife to that one, which I loved growing up and still think is great. Legitimately funny movie and pretty heartwarming too. I kind of wish I could go to a fat camp and, you know, learn some healthy eating habits and how to exercise and all that stuff. I guess I kind of did because I was in the army for 5 years, but it didn't really, it did not really take, I guess is the best way to describe it. All right, down to the dregs here, 50 meters per second to go. We should be seeing something here. There it is. All right. So we will, of course, need to do a brief mid-course correction. But we'll worry about that once we're done with our MUN mission. So this portion... Oh, geez. How did I screw that up so bad? I guess it kind of fits. I think it's not hurting anything. Just a little goofy looking. All right, back to the Space Center. What did I get up to in the army? I did, I was an Arabic linguist. So I got to go to language school and learn Arabic, and then go to Intel school and learn Intel top secret squirrel stuff. And then I got out and then went into personal finance, which has nothing to do with anything. All right, let's check everything. Scan sat debris. Should just burn up, honestly. I don't know how it managed to escape. And this one is going to Mun. That's going to be in a day. And this one is going here. 1 day, 1 hour, 57 minutes. I guess we'll just set this. And we will switch over to this one. That sounds fascinating. Yeah, I guess. I did it, so it doesn't seem that interesting to me. But I suppose if, you know, you're just hearing about it, it could sound kind of fun. All right, let's go ahead and warp here. I have to trust this one. Just this once. We will trust the alarm clock. But I shouldn't get... Okay, well, I thought I could trust the alarm clock. But I see now it was just a clever ruse. Okay, there we go. Yeah, something got a little goofy there, huh? Perhaps I was wrong to trust the alarm clock. Again. Alright, it's fine though. We will persevere. So let's set our target as Magtrop. Yeah, we'll need to change our inclination. And I guess keep an eye on this. So it's 2 hours and 51. Game? I did it again. All right. All right. Turn it off. I don't know how this keeps happening. It's like it changes the sphere of influence change as I'm doing it. I don't think I screwed up. I think I had it right. I think the game is causing the problem here. Now that's still an hour out, so we should be fine. There we go. We'll go ahead and switch over to this one. Jump to vessel. And we'll get this one through the sphere of influence change, which will be happening shortly. Yeah, I think something's weird is going on with the sphere of influence changes and the alarms. Hey, it's Beetle Rock. Sup, dude, with you. Welcome to the after action report and in-depth analysis for this evening. We're actually sending out our resupply ship as we speak. And this is going to resupply our mining ship. And I just now realized I did not send a scan sat like I was supposed to. So we're going to have to go back and do that. Great. Okay. Back to the Space Center. Lovely. All right. Have a good night, Tilkovsky. I'm sure it's very late over there. Have a good sleep. Don't be like me and stay up super late and then complain in the morning that you're very tired. All right. Let's head back over to our rescue mission and fly that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start manually warping again. It's like I just cannot trust these alarms. They're way too finicky. Alright, so we're gonna get our rendezvous with the... What's this guy's name? Magtop. And we'll just have to roll with it. Okay. Here comes the periapsis. Let's get into position here. So first thing, make sure we get an orbit around the mun, then adjust our inclination, and then try to get the rendezvous. And we'll work from there. Okay, I think 30 seconds out is probably fine. And let's go. It's not physics warp, but it's still kind of sus. I agree. It's been causing trouble for me. Not the time warp. I guess the time warp itself isn't the issue. It's the alarm clock. So what I had done, I did this mission. I launched from Kerbal. I launched to the mun, and I said, hey, let me know when I get to the sphere of influence change to be at mun. And then it's like, okay, sure. So then I do the warp, and then it warps me through that, and it's on its way to the leaving mun. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. You know what I wanted because you gave me the right one before. And then for whatever reason, it just changed. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think something's broken. My cat has come to say hello. So if you see him up here, that's why. Oh, this game. These are the joys of playing on hard mode with no reverts, no quick saves. Sometimes you just have to live with whatever happens. Even if it seems like BS. And not my fault, but the game's. Okay, let's set this. Get a little bit closer. He really needs some attention, I guess. Hang on. Ow. Hey, buddy. You make nodes and then warp to them? Oh, that could work. Yeah. That's actually probably a smart idea. I might have to start doing that. Since for whatever reason, the game is being a jerk about it. Slowly time warp into it. And you know, I played before they added the alarm clock, and I never used the mod. So I'm used to manually time warping places. So if I have to go back to that, it's not gonna kill me or anything. All right, so we're just adjusting the inclination here. Hope everybody's staying hydrated this evening. I'm trying, but all this talking dries out my mouth. And let's see. Oh, right. So a feature you haven't really used. Yeah, Urban was talking about that earlier. He says he's never used the stock version. He uses the mod. But of course, this is a modless playthrough, so no mods allowed, even the quote-unquote quality of life ones. And I would really like to just get on the right plane here. There we go, close enough. 0.2 degrees isn't going to kill anyone. All right, and how long until this happens? 30 minutes? Yeah, we better take care of it now. Beetlerock says the mod is much better. I believe that. I'm not sure how it is that mods are able to end up superior to the final product so often. It seems like having a big team and having access to the same tools as the modders, you would be able to figure out a solution that is on par, if not better, than the mod. But time and time again, we find ourselves in situations with games where the modders do all the work and the developers are just like, oh, we don't need to fix it. The mod fixes it. It's fine. We don't have to do anything. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pass this. And then we'll want to circularize into a rendezvous. Yep. That's just how it is, especially with like Bethesda, right? Yeah, that's what I was, yeah. You we're on the same wavelength. Like, we don't need to fix the bugs. The modders will take care of it for us. Like, yeah, but I mean, come on. That's not exactly a sustainable practice. Eventually, people are gonna not buy your games. Not that they've released anything besides Skyrim for the last decade. I guess Fallout. I don't count Fallout though. All right, what is the separation here? All right, close enough. 1 kilometer, I'll take it. And relative speed, 88. I can work with that. So let's go ahead and... Forgot I had that. Should have been using it. And time warp. And we're on our way. Get that set up. So I'd say when we're about 3 minutes out, we can start tweaking our approach. There we go. Let's get a nice lineup there. And I've complained a lot about Skyrim in the past here, but I'll do it again. I'm happy to rant about Skyrim. Every time I think to myself, what if I played through Skyrim again? That seems fun. I have semi-fond memories of playing that game. Almost immediately after the tutorial area, I get to Riverwood. Something goes wrong. There's some kind of ridiculous bug that just stops me. And I'm like, I can't play this anymore. It's too bad. They were bought out by Microsoft. I don't know if that's gonna do anything, honestly. Like that, all of that stuff is so, I don't know. Messed up, man. How are they gonna, I don't think Microsoft is gonna be able to fix the problems with Bethesda. Maybe. It remains to be seen. Maybe they'll release something new soon. You recently played through Skyrim's new Anniversary Edition and had a great time. Yeah, see, I can understand that. I can see how you could have a good time. But just, maybe I'm more sensitive to bugs and glitches than the average person. But something always happens. The most recent time I tried to play, the blacksmith at Riverwood got stuck in the wall behind his workbench. Like, so he was like phased into the wall and also the floor. So just his torso was trying to walk through his workbench and I couldn't talk to him. So the little like mini quest there where you do the blacksmithing stuff, couldn't do it. There are reports to the words Fallout New Vegas 2. That's true, I did hear about that. So we'll see. I would really enjoy a real, like, solid Fallout entry. As long as they don't use all the crap that they introduced in 4 that I don't like. Getting rid of skill points. Getting rid of perks. All that other stuff. It's like, you had a good formula. Why, oh why, did you screw it up? What is there to be gained by that? I feel like I screwed this up. Does it feel... It just feels that way. I think I might have to do another pass. Oh, wait, we got a separation coming up. 0.7 kilometers, I'll take that. That's 700 meters for those of you non-metric users. Voiced protagonist. Oh. That's the death of a good RPG right there. It's like, as soon as you have to start recording lines, you end up with very limited dialogue. And all the fun little like edge case conversation stuff is gone. Like, well, we don't want to, we got to pay this guy for his time to record the lines, or her. You got to get, if you're going to have customization, you got to have a guy and girl voice, maybe even like a couple of options for each, like in Saints Row. All right, let's be a little careful here. So, yeah, we can rant about Bethesda games all day, but Skyrim at least doesn't have a voiced protagonist, which opens up a lot of options for dialogue. Now, of course, it has voiced NPCs, which is its own can of worms. But still. Yeah, I wish I could play those games and have a good time, but just every time I try, something goes horribly wrong and immediately breaks the game. All right, we are here. We are ready to send over the new crewmate. Welcome aboard, whatever your name is. Magtop, that's right. You're a scientist? Yeah, okay, we could use another scientist. I mean, I'm not going to turn down a scientist, but pilot would be nice. I wish you didn't. I don't hate Souls games. I should have mentioned that. I don't like the philosophy that they have as part of the gameplay, which is that, like, I understand dying in a game a lot. I play a lot of roguelikes. Dying is okay with me. That's not the issue I have. The main issue I have is that dying is such a nothing in Dark Souls compared to how often it happens. To me, death should be a huge setback, first of all. And it shouldn't just be a little slap on the wrist like, oh, you died, you gotta try again. Which is what Dark Souls is. It's like, you died, now you gotta trudge through a bunch of enemies, but really you just have to run past them. You don't actually have to fight any of them. Now, why would you unless you wanted to grind? Which is another thing I don't particularly care for, is the grinding. Ooh, science data from Surface of Eve, we can do that. Science data from Surface of Gilly, we have that. All right, let's quickly launch an extra scan sat before I forget. Alrighty. So we are gonna start with the interplanetary fuel delivery drone. But instead of it being a fuel delivery drone, we are, oh, hang on. Don't save. I want a, what is it, the ScanSat? ScanSat merge. Okay. Then I just want that portion. I can ditch the rest. Perfect. And that should do it. And then we just need to fix this. And then we call this the interplanetary scan set. Save that. Fix the interplanetary fuel delivery drone with a fixed battery. Ah, there we go. Perfect. All right, then open up the interplanetary scan set and we'll launch that right away. Elden, okay, so when you say it's a breath of fresh air, so I've been watching a few people play it. To me, it seems like it's Dark Souls, but also Breath of the Wild. Is that a fair assessment? All right, I think we can launch. We should probably tweak this a bit. This, okay, these should fire first. All right, so that should break off. Everything fires. This needs to be up here. And we'll probably end up actually ditching the fairing pretty early on, honestly. That should work. Let's save that up. Let's launch it. Yes, okay. So, you know, I might give it a shot if there's a lot of interest. Obviously, I'm a very tiny channel. It's kind of hard to gauge what people are going to be into. So if there's a real demand, or if somebody pays the channel points for it, I'll definitely give it a shot. I'm not anti Dark Souls. It's not my typical style of game. All right, I think we're good to launch. So let's launch. Here we go. I'm gonna start our gravity turn a little bit earlier this time, just to avoid any potential issues that we might run into. You've never played a Souls game? Okay, I've played Dark Souls 2 only because my friend wanted me to play. And it's not terrible. Like I said, it's not something that I would play on my own time. It's not something that I would enjoy just sitting down and playing, I don't think. It's very cryptic, it's very grindy. You die a lot, but it's not a real punishment. So the games that I typically play where dying is a thing are going to be things like XCOM, where if somebody dies, they're dead. They're gone. You don't get them back. Or Spelunky, where if you die, you go back to the start. What else do I play? Roguelikes, obviously, are going to give you that. Wait, the community hates Dark Souls 2? Really? I guess there is kind of a schism in the community between people who like Dark Souls 2 versus people who like Dark Souls 3 versus people who like Sekiro or Bloodborne. Yeah, my friend really likes it, but he doesn't like the other one, so maybe he's the weird one and I don't know. Ooh, let's take a look here. We're really turning now. Let's turn even harder. Nice. All right, this should be good. Just it's a little on fire. That's okay. It's still good. It's still good. Just a little on fire. Just a little airborne. And so we are. There they go. I think we can turn that off for now. Try to point prograde as best we can. You die a lot in this game. Oh, in Kerbals? I don't typically die a lot in Kerbals. I've lost one Kerbal, and that was Jeb, and that was very early on, and we've been very careful since then. But the games that I typically play, like I said, roguelikes, so Spelunky, and oh, an Elden Ring, okay. You die a lot in Elden Ring. Yeah, and that's the issue that I have, where dying is just a minor setback. Like, you die and you just respawn. There's no consequence for dying other than you lose your souls or whatever. You kill a lot of Kerbals, but that's another story. Yeah, true. Okay, so just need to keep an eye on our time to apoapsis. Depends on if you have a bunch of runes. Yeah. And then, but then it's not even really like, it's a punishment, but it's not it doesn't feel like a fitting punishment to me. It's like, because then that just means you have to go grind more. It's a very grindy game. I have heard of Escape from Tarkov, but I've never played it. That's like a roguelike FPS kind of, right? F for Jeb. Yes, we all miss Jeb. It's really, really good. That's not what I heard. I think it's one of those games like League of Legends where like the community is like has a love-hate relationship with it. Like, I love you, and yet I hate you. And yet I love you, but I hate you. And that might be the, I don't know if that's the, like, community of players, because it's PvP, right? So maybe it's one of those things where the gameplay itself is fine, but then the community is kind of meh. It's extremely punishing. Why would I want to play an extremely punishing game? It's not called Spelunky. Also, I think I'm past the point in my life where I can play first-person shooters with any kind of skill. I'm too old. My reflexes are too slow. I probably need better equipment. New keyboard, at least. I'd get a new mouse, but they don't make them anymore, so I just have to keep repairing this one. It's really a new game type. Okay. I thought it was like a battle royale or something. But you're saying it's not that, I'm assuming. Shoot. Okay, well, we have an extra 170 Delta V to work with. Although I'm just now realizing, why does this not have a Delta V rating? That's unusual. This would typically have something. Very strange. Well, it's fine. Okay. So next order of business is setting up the maneuver here. Oh, controls locked. Shoot. Let's get that antenna open. Okay. So we're currently out of range of any communications, which is strange. But that's okay. Can work with that. Any minute now, game. All right, fair enough. We'll just have to wait. One game that I did play was GTFO, which is another first-person shooter. You do raids and zones. It's a mix of PvE and PvP, but you go in to get items you need to complete tasks. Okay. To what end? What's the end game? I guess it's a PvP game. There's no end game. If you die, you lose all the shit you brought in with you. All right. So punishing, yes. But is the punishment, does the punishment fit the crime, so to speak? Extend these solar panels, I guess. Very strange that I'm not getting any Delta V ratings for this, but that's, I guess we'll figure it out. All right, there we go. So same deal as before. And -8. Let's go ahead and try to get an encounter with Jewel. Just target. That's weird. Am I going the wrong way? It would seem so. Okay. Sure was. So hopefully this is around the same time as our other ship is getting there. So I don't want to wait too long. There we go. So what is this, like 4 years, right? 4 years, 190. That's actually ahead of time, which would be perfect. All right, so let's take a look at Jewel. And tweak our orbit a bit. Oh, okay, tweaked it too much. All right, that should work. All right, so you can easily run out of rubies and gear and have to go in naked. But when you actually complete a raid successfully, it feels like you accomplished something, and the risk reward of deciding if you should take really good gear in that you might just lose or go on the cheap side. Right, but then, so what is the goal of the game? Just to like get the high score or something? I guess to have fun. That's like, what's the point of any game? What's the point of Kerbal Space Program? I don't know. So I guess, what is the gameplay itself fun? So just like going in and shooting dudes? I guess, yeah. You know, people play Call of Duty, people play Battlefield. Not so much Battlefield 2042. And actually, speaking of Battlefield, over the weekend I was feeling a little nostalgic for a game called Battlefield 2142. And so I fired that up and immediately remembered why I don't play first-person shooters anymore. I was doing very poorly. You could just do PvP if you wanted. Okay. I need a little bit of gimbling here. Yeah, should have put the big reaction wheel up here or something. Would have really helped out. All right, so escape from Tarkov. We'll see. That sounds a lot like Hunt the Showdown. What with the PvE and PvP elements, which I have also heard about. We got to get this show on the road. Yes, says Beetle Rock. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm at least staying on top of what the games the kids are playing these days, even if I don't actually play them. What about that there fort fight? Kids seem to really like that. Here we go. All right, let's get rolling. Go full throttle. It's a similar game. Tarkov will have more of a story. So it will have more of a story, but it doesn't now. I gotcha. All right, here's hoping that this does not take us below 70,000 meters. That would be bad. But I think we're gonna be fine because we're just now approaching Periapsis. If Russia doesn't shut the internet off, uh-oh. Yeah, that's a real possibility, right? Gotta keep an eye on those world events. Just don't doom scroll. Very important. Yeah, that's got to be rough. I mean, can you even buy the game right now? I suppose you can on Steam. They just probably can't get the money. I don't know what the actual logistics of that is. All right, so we're just going to be burning here for a while. Another long burn, but then hopefully we'll get to Jewel sooner rather than later. So yeah, 4-year, 168 days. So we'll be right behind the other one, which is good. We'll just have to wait 4 years. What are some other games that you'd recommend? You're giving me some very different recommendations than I typically get, which is nice. Very refreshing. Contrary to what I regularly say, I do like all kinds of different genres. It's not just Kerbals and strategy games. Although that is what I find myself playing. That's not true. I've been playing Grounded. I've been playing, like I said, The Hidden City, which I guess I really won't be playing anymore because I beat it, but still a very fun experience. All right, we're just burning here. Just burning for a while. Good times. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Were you here for the movie discussion, Beetle Rock? We could bring that back up. Dig up Adam Sandler and talk about him. Seems like a good enough dude. You're not sure? Alright. Well, if you think of anything, let me know. In the meantime, I'm just gonna talk about Kerbal Space Program. If you have not seen Scott Manley's latest video, he explains how solar panels work. So if you're interested in that, you gotta take the pup out. Okay, yes, very important. I will be here. I'm not going anywhere. Not for a while anyway. All right, so let's see, another 800 meters per second to go. So we'll have less than we had before, but then we've also got the rest of the craft at the top, the actual satellite portion, which should be able to maneuver itself once we get to Jewel. So hopefully this thing can get there, circularize, and then take care of the rest. All right, what to talk about? Has anybody seen The Batman yet? I know we talked about it last week and we were all making fun of it. Haha, Batman. But the reviews seem pretty positive-ish. Like, relative to the other DC movies. Which is, I know is not saying much, right? But maybe they're finally turning the ship around over there and we're gonna start getting some good DC movies. Probably still not my cup of tea. They're a little too dreary for my taste. And at this point, making them funnier will just feel like copying Marvel movies, right? I don't know. I don't know what space they should occupy in the media landscape, honestly. I feel like Batman works better as a cartoon, typically. You guys remember the animated series from the 90s? That was really good. Oh, okay, we're getting down to the dregs here. Let's keep an eye on things. And just waiting on that line to show up. Any second now. Still not seeing it. There it is. Perfect, so we'll leave it there. And we'll go ahead and prepare for escape. 1 minute should work. All right, back to the Space Center. We'll let this thing do its thing. And we'll check in with our rescue mission, which we should actually be able to just finish up. Since all we need to do is get back from Mun, which we've done hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds of times, dozens of times. Maybe more likely. Plant flag on the Mun. Ooh. I don't know if that's gonna pay us enough, though, to be honest. Let's check on... All right, so this one we can just destroy. That's not gonna re-enter, doesn't look like. Just shoot it down with a missile. How about the Magtops pod? Blow that up as well. And then ScanSat debris. I feel like it should explode, but maybe it won't. We'll have to, you know what? Let's just blow it up, whatever. It's fine. We don't need it. Space junk flying around, just clogging up everything. All right, so this one's going there. This one is here. And yeah, we'll need to do an intermediary jump or whatever. Mid-course correction. All right, back to crew transfer shuttle. That was our rescue ship. And we're actually right in the spot we need to be to get back to Kerbin. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's do it right now. All right, so that jewel portion of the exam is complete. Scratch that off my checklist. Let's get ready to take Magtop home. I think right around here should be good. Just quickly get that set up. That periapsis nice and low. Go to like 100K. Flip it around a bit. Ooh. Alright, so right about there is good. And perfect. 15-second burn, huh? I can work with that. That's much better than the 5-minute burns we've been getting. And way better than that 12-minute burn we had with the nuclear engine. You guys remember that? That was nuts. Okay. There we go. Point towards the maneuver. And let's go. Slowly but surely. And almost. Ah, yeah. Okay. Bringing it down, bringing it down. There we go. That should be good enough. And that's what, 1 day. What is this one? 1 day, okay. So this one's actually better. So we will manually time warp this part. Just like in the olden days, like the pioneers used to do. Manually time warping. Boy, those were strange times, weren't they? Oh. Oh, this one's... Oh, that's a day out. Okay. I was gonna say. Thought it said 1 minute, but it was 1 day. And the reason that you have to do this, actually, or that you had to do this in the old days, was because if you time warped over a sphere of influence change, you could actually change your maneuver so much that, you know, it would fling you out of the system if you didn't course correct. So that was a fun time. Keep an eye on that. 3. Down to 2. Yeah, this should happen first, it looks like. There's the Jeb Memorial Station. The only thing currently in orbit. Oh, okay. We are entering the atmosphere now. Go ahead and split. We're coming in. Looks like we're going to be coming in over the desert. Although we could also be coming in over the mountains, considering my very low periapsis that I made. But we'll have to find out. We've got 3 parachutes, so it should be okay. Yeah, we got 3. So we shouldn't have any issues with rolling down the hill. Happy Kerbals? Yeah, they do look pretty happy, don't they? Tweak my mic a little bit here. Don't mind me. Oh, we're coming in right over the mountains. Yay! Alright, well, let's be extra cautious then. Have to monitor our altitude. Yeah, that's okay, that's what that one is. It is working.
I'm learning.
There we go. That's my mantra for this game. Every time I screw something up, I'm learning. It'll work itself out eventually. So we'll probably come into these foothills just by looking at the trajectory here. Ralph sound clip. Yes, Ralph sound clip. That is how I live my life, like Ralph from The Simpsons. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what The Simpsons is, because you're, I don't know, a Zoomer or whatever, it's still on the air, first of all. Second of all, it used to be a really good show. And then it got kind of bad for a while, and I guess now it's like not as good as it used to be, but better than it was. I don't know if that's any consolation, but maybe some people still watch it. I assume people are still watching it because they're still making it. If it was as bad as it actually people say it is, nobody would watch it anymore. Although it is always interesting to see what people kind of complain about as far as shows being canceled or still being on the air. Like, some of you probably are familiar with Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. So they stopped making Teen Titans and started making Teen Titans Go, a show that many people consider to be worse than the original Teen Titans, and yet they're still making Teen Titans Go, and they don't make Teen Titans anymore. So which is it? Like, clearly somebody is watching this show. It might not be you, I suppose. All right, so another hour till the sphere of influence change there. And then once that happens, we can do the Minmus rescue, and then we'll just time warp ahead. This is where the crystals are, huh? See if we can get a closer look. Oh, there's one right there. That's pretty cool. If we can get one of those scanning arm rovers out here, we could take a closer look. What's that up there? Is that more crystals? Or is it something else? Can't quite see. Yeah, it's just more crystals all over. I suppose you'd need to like airdrop a rover out here and then drive around the mountains. That could be fun. Teen Titans Go can go away. Yeah, but it's still going. So who's watching it? Why do good shows, quote unquote good shows, get canceled and bad shows get to stick around forever? At some point, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and think, maybe there's something wrong with me, that I don't like this popular show that everyone else likes. Or just stop watching TV, which is what I did. With games, it seems like the good games do tend to stick around and the bad ones kind of get forgotten. But maybe that's my own personal bias because I consider myself to be a person who plays games. I almost said gamer, which I do not consider myself. That's negative connotations. All right, let's get some science if there's any to actually get. Mountains, yes there is. All right, Magtop, you go get it in case there's some kind of horrible accident. Take surface sample. Mostly barren, snow, dirt, and rocks. Yep. So we get like 2 science from this, but whatever. Every little bit helps us get closer to our goal. And board. And recover. Those pink ears say you're a pro gamer. Oh, do they? I might have to take them off in that case. I wish I was a... Well, no, that's not true. I don't know that I can handle the pressure of being a pro gamer. That seems a very stressful environment. Okay. Mm-hmm. We have another rescue mission for John Locke. Any relation to whatever his name was? We had a Locke, didn't we? Something Locke? Don Locke was the one we had. And of course, Jeb, killed in action. Didn't even have a star. Wow, that's true. We sent him up there before he got a star. What a disaster. And hello, Clown Fiasco. Thanks for stopping by tonight. We're just doing some more Kerbals, trying to recover as much as we can from the Jewel mission. And let's check in on her. So we've sent a resupply convoy that should arrive there in 4 years, which I guess is cool. At least it's gonna get there. So here's this one. This one is still on track to escape. So let's check in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head over to Joule for a little bit. And we're going to kind of reorient the stations around Vol, or the station around Vol and the other shuttle around Vol, and change up how they're aligned. So that's the current plan. Just get them in a circular orbit, basically. And there we go. We're closing in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute. It's gonna automatically stop for me. Good, good. What do pro gamers even do? I guess you have like your esports people, right? And they are professional gamers. They game for a living. Then you have your big streamers, but they don't necessarily game. They're more general entertainers. Although I suppose there are probably some who strictly do gaming on their channels. I don't know. I guess I could consider myself a discount Northern Lion just based on the way that I look. The bald and the headphones. I suppose there are worse streamers you could be a discount version of. I could be a discount Pokimane or something. Discount Amaranth. But I'm just me. I'm just here streaming, talking about movies and games, and shoot, that's about it, isn't it? I need to do more interesting things with my life, or I'm gonna have nothing to talk about. All right, so let's head over to Joule now that this is done, and we'll do the Joule thing. We'll send a rescue mission to Minmus to pick up that Kerbal from the mission we took like 3 years ago. And then we'll do the mid-course corrections on those 2 vessels we just sent. And then we should be able to wrap up around Joule within the next hour and a half-ish. Okay. So Joule Miner is out of fuel. It's not going anywhere. It's just going to be orbiting Joule. Oh. Okay. Oh, jeez. I thought it like got flung out into interplanetary space, but I was just zoomed way in, so I couldn't see Joule. Okay, this is good. That's where we want it. Like freaked out there for a second. All right, so the Joule lander has the most delta V, so it gives us the most room to play with. So we'll do that first. Okay. Oh, this is a cool site. So we can see Joule, we can see Vol. I believe that's Tylo. And I think that's Lathe. I doubt we can see the other ones from here. Probably too small or in the wrong spot. But yeah, there's Tylo. And then Bop, I think, is that one? We should be able to see it, but it's too small. And Pole is on the other side of Joule, so we can't see that. All right, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna do a little warping. Hey, Rainbow Yeti's here. Just in time for the time warp. So we're gonna circularize our orbit here. And then we're gonna get to a 0-degree inclination. And I'm actually, now I'm a little worried. This doesn't have a lot of delta V. It doesn't have as much as I would like it to have, I guess I should say. But we do have the fuel hoses on board. So worst case scenario, we can transfer some fuel in or out as needed. So let's go ahead and do this. Going to go retrograde here. And how fast? Oh, orbital velocities are a little high here for my taste. That's not ideal. But like I said, once we have the miner fueled up, we should be able to go back and forth, loading up on fuel. And we'll just let this go. Nice and easy. maybe, you know what? Actually, the velocities aren't bad. So I imagine it's about the same as Mun. So we should be okay. I would, of course, have to double check that, but from what I'm seeing right now, this might even be less than Mun. Yeah. Let's slow it down a bit. Periapsis is lowering, which we do not want. You always ask how we are, but how are you, Emmy? It's a good question. And you have to be honest. You can't say like, oh, I'm great. Eating, ooh, what are you eating? Tell us more. I love hearing about food. It helps me forget how hungry I always am. Which is weird, because I was super full after dinner, and now I'm back to being hungry again. Maybe I have a tapeworm or something? Nah, that's not possible. I'm too fat. If I had a tapeworm, I'd be much less round, I think. Maybe I have some kind of parasite that's eating all the healthy parts of the food, and then I just get the junk. That would probably make sense. Like, I get all the calories and all the sugar and stuff, and all the vitamins go to the parasite. You bought Subway. Nice, nice. Can't believe you bought an entire Subway franchise just to get food. That's incredible. All right. So here we are in a nice circular orbit. Now, our mission, should we choose to accept it, which I have to because I said I would, is we need to get into a nice equatorial orbit. So can we do that? Let's find out. Survey says maybe. We're doing something. That's kind of nice. Slowly, slowly. 6.7. And 6.5. We're getting there. Buying a franchise makes me feel like Bruce Wayne. Speaking of Bruce Wayne, have you seen The Batman? Alright, so I think now... I don't... Okay, angle between the craft or the maneuver position around the orbited body and that body's trajectory on its parent. That I don't care about. What the heck is longitude of ascending node? And argument of periapsis. I just want to have an equatorial orbit. Is that so much to ask? I guess it is. The game won't give it to me. All right, let's try this. Let's try going normal now. You haven't seen the new Batman. Closest theater is 2 hours. Holy cow. That's unfortunate. 2 hours. Are you walking there? Do you have to like ride a horse? It's impressive. The closest theater to me is like 30 minutes on foot and 5 minutes by car. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing, as I always say. All right, are we going to be able to get a nice 0-degree inclination? That would be the sweet spot. 2 hours going 6. Holy crap. You just live in the boonies or something? That's nuts. 3.4, 3.3. .1. That's probably good. Boonies, yeah. All right. Out in the sticks. I'm sure you can come up with your own nickname for the country. Heard the boonies. I've heard the sticks. For the country. It's not really ever a kind of place that I would want to live. But I also don't know if I'd do well in a big city. I'm just kind of somewhere in between, I think. All right. So let's go ahead. I mean, 3 degrees isn't bad, but I would like it to be a little better. If we could just see where the problem is. Maybe it's here. We go up. Does that help or does that hurt? Oh, it helps. Excellent. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this down to 0. But there's nothing that tells me in the game where I need to burn. And honestly, it's not a huge deal. Like even 2 degrees isn't going to kill you. All right, we'll leave it at that for now. We need to get the other one. So we'll go ahead and switch. All right, so this has 1,500 units of Delta V, which is actually quite a bit of fuel because this is a very large vessel. Set that as the target. And now we have our ascending and descending nodes, which is great. All right, here we go. Just gonna manually warp. Since I no longer trust the automatic warp that comes with the stock alarm clock. We've had some issues with that. All right, now we're gonna go to the descent anti-normal. So basically when you're going to the ascending node, that's when the plane of your orbit is going above the plane of the other vessel's orbit. So you want to point down, which is called anti-normal. So that's what we're gonna do. I would also like to keep an eye on our overall inclination, see if there's anything we can do about that. So what's everybody been playing? Like I mentioned earlier, I've been playing XCOM and I've been playing The Hidden City, but I'm done playing The Hidden City. So off stream, I'll be playing XCOM. Don't worry, it's not XCOM 2 or anything. I'd be playing that on stream. This is X-Pirates for classic XCOM, which I cannot play on stream because Booba. Apparently Twitch has an issue with that. And I'd rather not draw attention to myself. But if you do like XCOM, I highly recommend it. It's a great mod, adds a ton of content, ton of new features, and really kind of beefs up what a game like that should be. All right, so we are still getting our inclination aligned, and it's working quite well. I'm going to call that good. And then once we're there, we're going to go ahead and circularize. But we could also start doing science, actually, which would be super cool. Because as you guys know, getting science means getting money at this point. So the more science we get, the more money we have, which means we can upgrade all of our base facilities or space facilities. Kerbal Space Center facilities, whatever you want to call them. Periapsis. Let's bring that down to maybe, I want to say 50K would be good. A good holding orbit. but I'd have to check the specifics. Because I'm comparing, it's somewhere between the Mun and Minmus. It's bigger than Minmus, but smaller than the Mun. But I don't know the exact difference there. We'll have to take a look at the stats. Oh, RimWorld is on hold, and Cyberpunk 2077 is up, and also Destiny 2. Actually, yeah, I was possibly an alien who I stream with on Tuesdays has been playing Destiny 2 as well. I guess was new content expected for that game? I thought it was one of those games that was kind of just done, even though it's supposed to be a live services game like Anthem. You guys remember Anthem from BioWare? I should bring that up next time I talk to Alien, which will be tomorrow actually. She loves BioWare. Oh shoot, we had a rendezvous. That's okay, I'm not trying to get a rendezvous right now. We'll just leave it at that. All right, so some nice orbits here. They're on the same plane. We could probably try to get these to 0 degrees, since I can kind of see where the issue is. Although it's hard. It's like I want to have a nice flat example, but I can't quite find one. So I'm wondering if they're going to do another RimWorld expansion. I guess he has to, Heinen, because that's kind of his life now. It's like, is he working? He's not working on any other games as far as I know. So should we maybe expect a new RimWorld expansion soon? Soon-ish, maybe this year. I guess he did drop the ideology pack last year. If he does one a year, it would make sense we would get another one this year. All right, I think we gotta stop there for now. So what we're looking for is when our heading is like 1 degree, 1.5 degrees specifically. But I can't tell when that's gonna be. Guess we could compare to Lath's orbit, maybe? It's kind of tough, but it does line up. And that would tell me that it's gonna be somewhere around here. And if you guys think this is boring, just wait till later. I'm going to talk all about the hidden city. So I'm going to have to put up a big spoiler warning and say, if you want to play the hidden city, do not listen to this portion of the stream. But if you have played the hidden city and you want to talk about it, let's go. I played through the game once as an archaeologist, pretty standardly, I think. And I went ahead and grabbed the canon ending and then the other 3 endings. And then I decided, you know what? I want to play as the soldier and see what happens with the gun. So there are 4 ways you can start. And one of them gives you a gun with 10 bullets. And I figured, you know what? Let's see what kind of fun we can have with a gun with 10 bullets in a Roman city. Turns out, not a lot, but there is some fun to be had there. And at the end of the game, I was hoping for a special ending that I can, I guess, elaborate on if anyone's curious. If you promise you've either played the game or you won't ever play the game. But I sadly did not get it. That was not an available option. Argument of periapsis. That's interesting. I wish I knew what these argument of periapsis and longitude of ascending node meant. That might help me get my 0 degree inclination that I so desperately want. Okay. So at some point we're going to have to go negative. We're going to have to go anti-normal. But I think for now we can probably just stop. 1.4 degrees is good enough for me. And in that case, I think it is perhaps time to start doing some science. What's the solar power like out here? I'm a little concerned about that. If we're going to be getting enough solar or not. All right. Review the data. Let's start processing it. Which data can we cram in here? Quite a lot, it would seem. Perfect. And then we will start research. So there you go. Back to the Space Center we go. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, for those of you who were not here, we watched Adam Sandler's The Wedding Singer yesterday. That was our movie of the week. And it was pretty good. Or at least not terrible. Which is all I care about. Wait. Rescue Rovan from orbit of Vol. I would, but that's gonna take a while. The advance is pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of money. The only issue that I can see is it would only give us about 5 years to do it. Oh, this one. Oh, 29 years. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we could do that one. That's not gonna hurt anything. Emmykin says it was better than she was expecting. Well, I'm glad to hear that. How bad were you expecting me to pick a bad movie that like was bad? How awful of you. Liar Liar came highly recommended by the chat. That was not my fault that it wasn't as good as you were expecting. All right, let's launch another rescue mission. We got to go to Minmus this time. So let's do it. So for this one, we want the Crew Transfer Shuttle M. Go ahead and launch. Oh, better make sure we just have a pilot on board. Go ahead and launch. Oh, speaking of the Tuesday stream with possibly an alien, tomorrow I have been informed that she would like to play a multiplayer game of Valheim. So we will be playing through Valheim. Well, not through it, like it's a long game. We're just going to be playing it and kind of goofing around and talking and stuff. So if you're interested in that, tune in tomorrow. Same time, same Twitch channel. And come check that out. If you've never played Valheim, it's like... what is it like? I don't want to say it's like Minecraft but Vikings, but it's like Minecraft but Vikings. Less blocky though. Okay. We're burning, we're turning. We're gonna get there. Everything is nominal. No problems, no explosions. The only Adam Sandler movie that Emmykins likes is Hotel Transylvania, so she expected not to like The Wedding Singer. That's true. But I mean, Hotel Transylvania is not really an Adam Sandler movie. Maybe it is, actually. I thought it was a Genndy Tartakovsky movie more, but I think he might have just directed it. which I guess would make it a Genndy Tartakovsky movie. I don't know what Adam Sandler's role was on that. Maybe he was a producer or something. Oh, I don't have my panels open. I'm blind. There we go. All the better. Let's slow down here. Getting the atmospheric effects that we don't necessarily want yet. Just keep it rolling. And once we're out of the thicker part of the atmosphere, I mean, we're out. The thicker part of the atmosphere is like this light blue and the darker blue, and then the real dark blue here. And then once you're out of that, you're pretty much just in essentially a vacuum. Okay, so we are down to a minute to apoapsis. In fact, we can actually slow down a bit here. We switch to orbital, whatever. We can see the stars. Well, you guys might be able to see better than me because my screen's very dusty and it reflects the light from the ring light here. So I probably should clean my screen off once in a while. The light makes all the dust very visible on my desk. Okay, let's speed it up a bit. And we're gonna keep on rolling. So, that's what I had to talk about tonight. A couple of games, a couple of movies. What's everybody else, aside from games and movies, what's everybody else been up to? I know we got some fellow streamers in here. What have you guys been streaming? Any tips on making YouTube videos? If you've got them, throw them at me. I don't know. Just looking at what it takes to make a good YouTube video, like editing and shot composition and all that. It's like, I don't know that I have time to make a good video. Like, I could either make a bad video or I could make one mediocre video over the course of a couple of months. I don't know which is better. Ah, crap. I got distracted again. Ugh. All right, let's try to salvage this. There we maybe go. I don't know. There we go. Go out to like 80 kilometers. All right, luckily it wasn't too bad because our thrust to weight was more than 0 or more than 1. All right, perfect. So we will be leaving the atmosphere within the next 10 minutes. Great. So now I have to entertain you guys for like 10 minutes before I can time warp. What do we got here?
Excellent!
That's a good one.
69, dudes!
That's a good one too. I don't want, well, let's do bogus. Bogus. And then I also found a new one that I have yet to add. I'll see if I can either do that tonight or if I have time tomorrow before the stream, I'll try to get it uploaded. But it requires, so some of these things I can just download the clip and it's ready to roll. Other times I have to edit it a bit, cut it down, mostly cut it down, get it from the original source, so whether that's a YouTube video or something else, convert it to an MP3 and set all that up. And that, you know, it doesn't take that long, but it takes enough time that it cuts into my either stream time or sleep time. And I, oh boy, do I need my sleep time. Never get old, chat. You're just tired all the time. And partially that's my fault, of course, for staying up so late. feel like I spent all my extra energy when I was in high school staying up till 2 in the morning, even though I had to get up at 7. But hey, at least I had a job and I got to play games for several hours a night, even though it cost me a lot of sleep. Pretty sure I fell asleep in class a couple of times, which is probably not unusual. I think the issue was I could never... So I used to work at McDonald's and I would work till around 11 o'clock at night. But I would have started right after I got off school. So I'd go to school, I'd go to work, and it would be 11 o'clock and I'd get home. And I would think, well, I didn't get to have any fun today. Let's do the fun part of my day. So I would stay up till 2 in the morning playing games. And then when I finally got to sleep, I'm exhausted. And then I wake up and I'm still exhausted. Then I got to go to school and then I have to go to work. And then I do the same thing over again. Now I have the same problem, except it's much harder to justify staying up late playing games. Although I'll still do it occasionally. And yeah, Emmykins has pointed out the gist, don't be like me, kids. Don't go to school, don't get a steady job. Pursue your passion as a content creator or influencer. Do what you really want to do with your life. Definitely do not have kids. That's my first advice for anyone. I don't have kids, so oh my gosh, thank goodness for that. It's like, my life's bad enough already. Let's not pile on a whole bigger problem. So we still got 3,000 meters to go. You meant the staying up all night playing game? I know that's what you meant, but yeah, I guess also don't do that if you must. I have a cat. A cat is not a kid. Although sometimes he acts like one. It's not the same thing. Having a kid is much more responsibility and probably a lot more expensive too. And I'm already pushing the limits of my budget. You can't throw a kid on top of that and expect it to work out. Alright, well, we finally left the atmosphere, so we can attempt to circularize now. Or we can just do a straight shot to the mun, so let's do that instead. Add maneuver. I think it's 860, right? Maybe that's not right. Did I do this wrong? Maybe I did. Oh, it's because I'm not circularized yet. All right, let's I guess we'll add on top of that then. Okay. Wait, we're trying to go to min-miss actually. Never mind. Let's get rid of that. All right, so let's go ahead and circularize. Then we'll adjust our inclination and then we'll go to min-miss. How about that? Last thing I need is to go to the mun and then realize, oh wait, I'm in the wrong place. Took the wrong turn at Albuquerque. Oh, there's probably some kind of Kerbal pun you could make with Albuquerque. I'll leave it up to chat to figure it out. This is an exercise left to the viewer. All right, let's raise our periapsis up to the prescribed close to 80,000. Then we'll go ahead and adjust our inclination. Like so. If you're smart, you'll do this right out of the gate from launch. If you're like me, you won't. And then you'll have to do it in flight, and then it costs more delta V. But so be it. I forgot we were going to Minmus. Even though I knew initially we were, and then as I launched, I forgot. But it's fine. It's not a big deal. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about this light shining in my eye. I guess it's necessary to illuminate my face, but also it's very bright. If I can turn it down. Let's take a look here. I have a couple of options. I can turn down the temperature, whatever that means. Oh, okay. Well, that turned down the brightness. How does it look on the screen though? I feel like it probably didn't change much. I'm watching now. There's a bit of a delay. It like flashed briefly and then nothing changed. All right, we're gonna stick with that then. It's less bright on my eyes. People already think I smoke a lot of pot because I have really red eyes, but it's just because they're dry all the time. And they've always been like that. Just wear wear sunglasses on stream. That'll go over pretty well. I'd have a hard time seeing the screen probably. Actually, I might have some sunglasses around here, but I don't know if that's... maybe in the summer. We'll see. That could be fun, actually. All right. So now that we've adjusted our inclination, we need to make our burn to min-miss. All right. Well, there's our maneuver. We should be able to get a nice encounter there. Perfect. Just tweak that a little bit. Nice. All right, so we'll go with that. That maneuver is in 20 minutes. 20 minutes, people. Here we go. You know, Rainbow Yeti, you've always got the best ideas. Do you have any more good ideas I could take advantage of? Don't hoard them. Give them all to me. I will hoard them. Let's see. Make a YouTube video where I do something fun or cool or both. Something cool that is also something fun. I'm walking around town and I come across a something. Let's see, what is there to do in town? I could go to the brewery. That might be fun. You guys like beer? I don't like beer, but maybe some people in chat do. And I could walk over there and explain the history of the town, of which I know very little. Founded by German settlers in the 1800s. And then there was a war with the native people. And there's a bunch of plaques around town that are talking about how we, like, killed them all. And it's supposed to be celebrated. It's a little morbid. Probably wouldn't fly in today's climate. But I guess when they put the plaques up, it was sort of a point of city pride. Alright, let's do this burn. Yeah, I guess really in any part of the US that you go, there's going to be some kind of horrible atrocity committed. Okay. It's just more noticeable here because there's plaques all over town talking about it. All right, so another 100 meters per second, thereabouts. Just keep an eye on this. And we want to go past the mun. We'll slow it down. 7, 6, 5, 4. Bring it in nice and tight. Beautiful. All right, so we'll leave it at that. And then we'll have to adjust as we get closer. All right, we're going to test this out again. Min-miss encounter, 4 days, 4 hours, 52 minutes. All right, let's try it. 4 days, 4 hours, 52 minutes. Okay, it does appear to be slowing down this time. All right, this time it worked. Luckily, this wasn't like anything important, but it did work this time. All right, so that's done. Now we just have to wait a minute. Let's see, so this is our target, which is in a prograde orbit. That's good. For a second I thought it was retrograde, but it is not. We'll need to make an adjustment to our plane, and then we'll have to rendezvous with it. So we'll see how that goes. Then after this, we'll send these guys home, and I think we should be free to do... We have this ghillie stuff we could do. Flag on Ike, I think, has a 20 or so year thing. So this is the rescue Danzon. We can swing by Eve and Gilly. Then we can rescue Rovan before we do the big time warp that we need to do. Alrighty. Where is the descending node? There it is. So we're gonna get here, we're gonna adjust our plane, and then we'll circularize from there. So normal. Remember, when you're descending, when you're at the descending node, you want to be going up, which is what I'm doing. Perfect. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's about as good as we're gonna get for now. Keep an eye on the periapsis here. I think the biggest issue is gonna be the fact that at min-miss, everything goes very slowly. So that might take a little bit of our time. Normal, yes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, so that part is complete. Now we're gonna have to get into an actual orbit, as always. And then it's just a matter of, oh, we could actually do this. This is a little tricky because our relative speeds in a normal planet, if this wasn't min-miss, this would be a bad idea. But since this is min-miss, we can actually make this work. So like normally you'd want to have a more gradual rendezvous. In this case, we can just use our engines to cover the distance real fast and get a forced rendezvous essentially. All right, loop it around. Then as we come in here, need to keep an eye on the time because we don't want to overshoot it. And you can see like the orbital velocities are so slow, it's going to take a whole day for this. And here we come. Nice and easy. I really wish these wouldn't update until I've passed them. Really throwing me off. Okay, so we are approaching. We're going to keep an eye on the distance, but at the same time, we need to make sure that we're on the same kind of wavelength, I guess. All right, so 7 minutes out. You can go ahead and time warp. It disappeared again. Great. Let's say once we're within about 5,000 meters. Yeah, perfect. So it came back just in time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push my retrograde marker towards the target retrograde marker, and that's going to align our orbits. You can see it's all, we're getting very cozy, which is good. So now we're 3 minutes out with a 300-meter separation. And with that in mind, I can actually go ahead and warp until we're about 1.5 kilometers out. 3, 2, 1.5. Oh, almost overshot it there. Got to be careful when you're warping, I guess. And this should be pretty straightforward from here. Easy peasy. So if you ever wanted to know how to rendezvous around Minmus, it's very easy compared to rendezvous around Kerbal or even the Mun. Just because the orbital speeds involved are so low. So your delta V goes a lot farther. Right. Let's adjust a little more. Right on target. And let's see, what are we thinking it's going to be? Pilot, engineer, or scientist? I'm hoping for a pilot. But 1 in 3 chance. We'll probably get an engineer. And then a scientist would be good, but I think we already have a surplus of scientists at the moment. As weird as that sounds. They're so important early game. But at this point, I think we have a surplus. And there we go. A little more. All right, so what did we get? Danzon is a engineer.
69, dudes!
No, Bill and Ted, no.
Bogus.
There you go. That's the one. We didn't need an engineer, but we could use the money, I guess. Not that much, but it's probably fine. All right, board. And shoot, we got to take this thing back home now, don't we? We just force it. I'd rather not be here any longer than I need to be. So yes, we can. Just don't blow anything up. Should be fine. Whee! So we just need to get our periapsis nice and low. And then we will... Oh, that's not what you want to see. I mean, sometimes you want to go from Minmus to the Mun, but not right now. Like any other time, I'd say no thank you. But this time I'm going to say also no thank you. All right, let's try going anti-normal. Try to counter this nonsense that we're encountering. That'll actually lower our periapsis. Perfect. It's really interesting how transfers works at different angles. Like typically you want to go equatorial, but sometimes that's just not possible. So you end up in these weird situations where you're coming in at a polar angle. And then it just causes different things to happen to your orbit. Okay, let's get it nice and cozy. Nice and easy. Down to 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200. Under 100. We're gonna go down to, say 16 looks good to me. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty impressive. So assuming that we weren't going to enter the atmosphere and adjust our trajectory, we'd be coming back. No, that's obviously not right. How does that even work? What? The game thinks we would make a total... Yeah, where's this purple coming from? There's no situation where we re-enter Minmus's orbit. Unless I'm missing something. All right. Whatever. No time to worry about that now. Time to get back to Kerbin. Also, question for all you Kerbal players out there. What level do you have your patched conic set to? I think I have mine set to 5. So for encounters, it'll show me up to 5 layers deep, which is nice. Right. So the game seems to think that I would loop around and then somehow re-enter. I don't think that's going to happen, though. 1 year. Yikes. I don't think that's going to happen. All right, let's just go ahead and do this now. So 6 million, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looks like we're going to be coming in over the desert, which is fine. 100 and under 100. Not quite equatorial, but at least it wasn't polar. And now my favorite way to do re-entries, you guys have seen this before, is I like to point normal and anti-normal because that will separate on an axis that is not likely to crash into each other. If you decouple prograde or retrograde, there's still a chance that the part that you decoupled will crash into you. And in fact, I've had that happen once. It was on a re-entry. I don't think it was a full orbit or anything. It was just one of those early test flights. So I launched my craft up, and then I decoupled at some point, and then I pulled the parachute, and then the back half of the vessel that had the rocket engines and everything crashed into the cockpit. So it's very unlikely to ever happen, just because, like, space is big, right? And there's a lot of ways it could go that aren't going to hit you, and only one way it could go that it would. But it's still that slim chance. I prefer not to take it if I can avoid it. So we're coming in over the desert here. Got our brand new engineered Dans on. We're going to get a little bit of money for that. Then we have a couple of pickup missions we can do real quick around Eve. Oh, is that the desert site? I think it is. The desert. Wait a minute. Okay, that's obviously the runway. What is this down here then? Is that some kind of Easter egg that I don't know about? That might be the pyramids. Hang on. Let's take a look. Shoot. No, I can't. Well, that's cool. We should go check that out at some point. I've actually never really explored Kerbin that much. But I mean, if there's cool stuff like that around, it might be worth flying a plane around for a bit, or maybe sending a some kind of supersonic craft to go visit places. And then, of course, if we just launched like a ballistic missile or something and landed it here, we'd be able to launch from here. So we could just fly a plane, check this area out. Or if we really wanted to bore you guys, I could have the Kerbal get out and walk there. Fun times. I've done that on the Mun before. If I had a rescue mission and I landed too far away, instead of wasting fuel, I would just get out and have the Kerbal walk to where I landed. Probably pop the chutes here. Let's see if we can get a better view now. So that does appear to be some kind of step pyramid. Oh, that's cool. All right, well, I'd say we got close enough. I'll count that as seeing it. Surprised I had never noticed that before. I guess we never landed in this part of the desert. Ooh, speaking of landing in the desert, we got some science. Look how happy they were, so happy. That was great. All right. Well, here's hoping we can finish strong today with the jewel mission. Let's go ahead and physics warp here. I'm fairly comfortable physics warping with the parachutes. I feel like if anything bad's gonna happen with physics warp, it's gonna be on re-entry or on liftoff or something like that. But once the parachutes are deployed, it's probably fine. All right, almost there. 6, 5, 4, and I will of course stop the physics warp before we collide with the ground. I trust it, but not that much. All right, let's go ahead and recover. And now, like I said, we're gonna quickly head over to Eve to do some quick science there. Then we're going to head over to Jewel, specifically Vol, to get that, to rescue the stranded Kerbal. And then we'll go ahead and time warp those Jewel missions so we can wrap those up tonight. And that should conclude the stream. Hopefully we can knock that out relatively quickly. Okay, so this is here. Perfect. That should be easy to get. These guys are still en route. And they do appear to have comms, which is good. Jewel Miner is the one that we're interacting with. Danzon's wreckage. We can finally delete. So we're going to swing by the Eve Inspector, which currently does not have sun. So we're going to have to wait on that one. The Gilly Inspector, which, contrary to its name, is just in orbit of Eve. It's in a retrograde orbit, in fact. That's one of our retrograde ones that we need to fix. And the Gilly Lander is the one we want for this particular bit. Ooh. All right, here we go. If this thing can just go back down, please. Go down. Go down. All right, it's going down. Gilly is so weird with all this. All right, what did I say? Science data from space around Gilly. Okay. Let's transmit. And then space from Gilly's Highlands. Knock out 2 at the same time. For 173 grand. I didn't even have to do anything. All right. Surface of Eve we can grab. But I'm not too worried about that just yet. So let's head back. Guys, I gotta get a better chair. This one sucks. I thought investing in a gamer chair would actually be more comfortable, but it's like sitting on a rock. My work chair is better than this. I guess it's designed to be better than this, honestly. Rescue Miramone from Orbit of Jewel. That's not going to happen. Sorry, Miramone. How many chairs do I go through? Well, the one broke because I'm fat. And then this one just kind of sucks. So I guess 2. No, 3. Because I had the one before I got the old one. But I think at this point I just need to get like an office chair. All right, so let's switch to the Jewel Lander. And we'll pick up this stranded Kerbal here. And hopefully it's a pilot. Could really use another pilot. Ooh, look at that blue. Holy cow. That's nice. All right, this is our target. What is the inclination? 2.2 degrees. Gotcha. And that might actually help us get to a... No. Well, maybe. That might be a more equatorial orbit. We'll find out. Let's get to the descending node. We'll adjust from there. We could actually leave this wreckage here to use as an equatorial marker. That'd be pretty cool. All right, so, shoot. This is the one that doesn't have a high level captain or pilot. Even though this would literally be the best one to have high level captain on. I guess I can level them up once I rendezvous with the station, right? 7, 6, 5. And yeah, this is going to be a little more of a standard rendezvous because they're both in circular orbits. And I don't want to waste too much fuel. All right, descending node. Let's go. When I think of all the time that I've had to spend in KSP, just kind of waiting for things to happen, it's a lot of time. I think that might be why people have such big hours in this game. It's not so much that you've physically spent that much time playing. It's just the act of playing has a lot of kind of empty time. That makes sense. All right, so for this one, we're gonna do this. How many orbits do we need to do? To get this to line up properly. More or is it less? It's more. Okay, so it says if I scooch it forward, it should get closer and closer. 32, 19, 6, 15, down to 10, 9, 8. Let's see. Let's make sure it's lining up properly. 2.6, 2.3. Oh, shoot, I'm going the wrong way. So how many orbits is that? 5 hours. Okay, so about a day. That's fine. We can actually go ahead and set that as our maneuver, or as our whatchamacall. If I can get that to trigger. All right, 1 minute out. Sounds good. And now we are going to warp. Whoa. How do I feel about subtitles? I like subtitles. In any game that I'm playing, if it has the subtitles option, I will turn it on. Because I find so often that audio can be very iffy in games. And movies as well. That I want to make sure that I don't miss any important bits of dialogue. And I wouldn't say that I have trouble hearing things, but I don't know, I feel like sometimes I do. All right, orbit. You want to go retrograde here? So I like subtitles. If you mean as far as like things in other languages, yeah, that's fine. I'd much rather prefer subs over dubs. I find that dubs are often poorly done or cheaply done, which is basically the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know what exactly your question is about, but I think subtitles are great. I assume you're talking about that kind of subtitle and not like the subtitle of a movie. Or like the subtitle of a show, like Avatar, The Last Airbender. 2, 1. Okay, there we go. So our intersect is now set up. We can go ahead and pick up this stranded Kerbal Rovan. Get them on board this particular vessel. And it looks like, oh, we are equatorial at this point. So that'll serve as a good beacon to get the station to be equatorial. Is this leading to another fridge rant? I mean, what fridge rant? Like how much I hate my refrigerator because it just makes so much noise. Oh, yeah, that. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I have a fridge that has like a really busted compressor fan, and it rattles around exceptionally loudly, and it's very annoying. So it makes it hard to hear anything when it's going, even though the kitchen is a wall away. Oh, are you trying to pick a foreign film? I guess that's okay. I'd prefer if they were in English, but I guess it's up to you. It's your movie. This is, we have performed a rendezvous maneuver around Vol. Nice. We sure have. So let's do the thing and see what our lucky Gachapon Kerbal prize is. Whether it's a pilot, an engineer, or a scientist. And go. Rovan is a scientist. Oh, how exciting. And I guess she got out here in a jet, which is pretty impressive. But you know how Kerbals are. They're very resourceful. All right, I didn't check beforehand, but I'm really hoping there is room in this little thing here. But yeah, I don't think I keep Kerbal. I think I leave this area free. Grab a board, and we're good. Okay. That part is done. All right, we did a spacewalk, we did a crew transfer, all done. Now we head back to the Space Center and we will check on our incoming probe crafts. Our drone stuff. It's gonna be good. You're trying to make conversation. That's smart. That's probably a good idea. So let me think of what I've watched with subtitles. Not a lot. I watched some anime like in high school. I tried to get into anime because all my friends were in anime. And I don't know, I just something didn't click with me. So I never really got into it. Okay, so we can get rid of Rovan's wreckage. Yes. ScanSat here is on its way. Let's go ahead and make the maneuver. We'll do this while we still have our communication with the KSC. I don't think I've watched a feature-length movie with subtitles. So that, I guess that would be an experience, if that's what you want to go with. All right, so let's adjust here. And I wonder how well that's gonna work. Let's find out. So if we do this, yeah, that's not too bad. We just lower it down. We kind of want to get a mostly equatorial orbit here. This is the, which one is this? This is the ScanSat. Okay, so this one just needs to go straight to the target. So let's go ahead and try to set that up. I don't know if it'll be possible. Other way around. Ooh. Okay. Not quite equatorial. Let's, yeah, that works. Too much. Very small tweaks at this point. There we go. And then keep bringing it in closer. Yeah, I guess we'll just bring it nice and close to Joule like we did with the others. Now we get a nice little capture there. And that should be good. A little more, a little more. A little more, too much. Too much. That's probably good. So that's 37 meters per second, not a problem. And then we'll head over to the fuel delivery drone. You have not decided 100% on Parasite, which you love. If you want to watch Parasite, we can watch Parasite. It's fine. It's your time to pick the movie. I can't say, hey, don't pick that movie. That's not how this works. Unless it's, you know, not a comedy, and then like, well, the goal was to watch at least ostensibly funny movies. All right, so this one, same deal, it looks like. We need to bring it down. And then we need to bring it closer. All right, so not a problem. This one's easy. And this one is going to be rendezvousing with the Joule miner. So ideally we would get it in about the same plane as the Joule miner is. Obviously that's going to be easier said than done, but we'll try our best. Down, down, down. That's not too bad. Okay, I can work with that. All right, so that one is done. Let's head back to the KSC and we will see which one is coming up first. All right, so Emmykins says, and Wikipedia also claims, that Parasite is a black comedy / thriller. So kind of like Get Out. Or the other one that's like that. I think it's just called Us. But yeah, I get it. It's fine. We can watch that. Black comedy's not really my thing, but you know, whatever, maybe I'll learn. All right, so the next one, so this is 1 year, 242 days. This one is 1 year, 74 days. So this is the one that's going to be coming up first. We'll go ahead and do this manually. All right, game, feel free to load. All right, so where's the maneuver node? Holy cow, it's way up there. All right, we can, you know, we'll work to that. That's fine. I haven't had issues with maneuver nodes. I think it's just the sphere of influence ones. Homer. What did Homer do? He doesn't like black comedies? Or thrillers? I mean, I don't really like thrillers, but except for, you know, Thriller, but who doesn't like Thriller? Which isn't really a thriller. Well, it is, kind of. The music video, anyway. But you have to remember, I know nothing about The Simpsons. Sentinels have finished mapping suitable comets. All right, let's accept that one. Basically free money, right? Warp it up. Now we're running into a bit of a problem here, and that we're losing our signal with Kerbin. So we may have an issue, depending on how long it takes for Kerbin to orbit back around and for us to get a signal. Ah, there we go, we lost a signal. But we still have like 200 days to go, so maybe we'll pick it up again. We just don't know. Your "I'll learn" made me think of his breakup line, "I'm not gay, but I'll learn." Okay, I gotcha. Okay, where's Kerbin? I don't know if it's gonna get back in range again, guys. This could be an interesting burn, is all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's not even close. Yikes. All right, well, we'll just have to do it with full throttle. So yeah, it might be worth, I would say it would be worth setting up a satellite out here, but it's probably not, to be honest. And Jules way the heck, oh no, Jules right here. I wonder if we should be getting a link from here to here. Probably not. It's fine. We'll do it this way. I can count to 4. I'm smart. We just need to count to 4 and then stop. Okay. So it's going to get lined up. The 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1000, and then stop. Come on, game. Let's try to do this right this time. Okay, here we go. Ready? Go. 3, 4, stop. Okay, that's not perfect, but that's, I think, as good as I'm gonna get for now. Because if I do anything else, it could potentially... Okay, there, okay, I did that now. That's as good as we're gonna get. All right, that one is done. Let's switch to this one. Okay. And now this one's maneuver is coming up also. So let's warp. Oh, we're going slow. We're so far. This is crazy. Oh, we're getting a signal. Nice. As bad as it is, might as well not be getting a signal, honestly. Wonder if we'll still have it. Nope, there it goes. Yeah, we're just so far out. We're not getting the we're not getting a good signal. We need to have a relay on one of these, I think. Or like a good relay. We have a small relay. The yeah, the little antenna that flips out. All right, so here we are. We've done the warp. So we got, this is a 3-second burn now. Let's dive in and see what we can do with that. What is this? We did a thing? We did not do, oh shoot. Okay, that's fine. We'll take the hit. Yeah, I didn't really worry too much about those. I probably could have. All right, so this one is a 3-second burn. Let's see how close we can get without going over once we're on target. You finally got a bonus points box in the chat, you mean? All right, ready, go. Dang. All right. Oh, that's not bad actually. Okay, I'll stick with that. All right. So now we just gonna go ahead and manually time warp. Actually, I should see. Okay. So this one is gonna get here 2 years, 304 days, 5 hours. I guess we'll mark that. Oh, right, I can't. Because it's weird. Okay, so whatever. 2 years, 304 days, 5 hours. So 2304. And this one should be getting there before that. We've been having issues with Twitch giving them all afternoon. Fair enough. So 2304 versus what? 2337. Okay, so the other one is going to be first. All right, so let's try to wrap this up. Let's try to finish strong. 2304. Yep, there we go. Go ahead and manually warp. Wow, even at max warp, we're still going 2 whole years. Holy crap. This sucks. I should probably do some missions before I get dinged for those too. Hold on. All right, looks like we're going into overtime, guys. All right, so we need to transmit data from orbit of the Mun, I think. Okay, good. And then surface of Eve, and that one's not going to get done. Plant flag on Ike might not get done either. That's fine though. We can live with that. All right, so the Mun station should have some science for us. And then we'll check in on Eve. Okay, it's loading. There we go. And we should just be able to transmit the science. There we go. So there's the data from base around the Mun. Head over to Eve real quick and do the Eve surface stuff. And then we'll check back in on our Joule stuff, although, as I'm sure you've noticed, it's going to take a while even at max time warp, just because of the distances involved. And back to the Eve Inspector. That's the one that is splashed down. Let's go ahead and transmit some science from the splashdown Eve Inspector. If we can. Ah, shoot, it's dark. Okay. We'll, we'll have to wait a bit. How much power do we have? We do have some charge. Let's just send some data. Should have enough. Okay. Here we go. So there's our Eve surface science. Back to the Space Center. All right, and actually, you know what? I've been talking about this all night. I need to get some more sleep instead of staying up late. So we're actually going to wrap it up now. We'll finish up our Joule stuff on Wednesday. How does that sound? You guys okay with that? Silo Lightstone. Anything we could do here? Science data from Space Round Duno we could do. Comets are free. All right. So there we go. So we'll take those. We'll go ahead and wrap up the stream. Emmykin says she had fun. I hope the rest of you guys had fun. Oh, that's right. So tomorrow we'll be back. It's on my stream tomorrow. I have custody. Possibly an alien will be here. And we'll be playing some Valheim, apparently. That's what she has decided she would like us to do. And of course, we'll have some weird stuff interspersed. If you guys like Valheim or you like watching me in general, feel free to stop in. I'm gonna send you guys over to, who do we want to raid today? I guess Gandalf. He's looking a little low with Final Fantasy. Looks like he's doing Final Fantasy 6. I think he's actually almost done. So we'll get that going. We'll go say hi. It says starting soon, so I assume it's just the starting soon screen, but we'll find out. And I will see you guys tomorrow or Wednesday or whenever I see ya. Good night.